Now let's move on to our color panel. We created this button that we'll be able to click on, and we want to display a modal to our users for them to be able to choose the colors of their app. So we want to create a kind of color picker. So we'll head to the color panel component. We're going to bring in a modal component, the icon component, and label components from Semantic UI. And we want to first add an onClick to our button, which will open a modal. So first we want to create a state object with a modal property set initially to false, and we've covered this a number of times. We'll create an open modal function where it'll set the state of the modal property to true. We'll copy that. We'll create a close modal function which will set the modal property to false. And underneath the button, we'll create our color picker modal. So this will consist of the modal component, where we'll have basic styling. It'll open according to the modal property and state. So we'll destructure modal from state, and it'll have an onClose prop set to our close modal function. So within our modal, we'll first have a header with the text of choose app colors. Then we'll have a content area, and then an actions area. So in actions, we'll have two buttons. The first with the color of green, prop of inverted, an icon within it with the name set to checkmark, with the text of save colors. We'll copy that and paste another one in underneath with the color of red, the name of remove for the icon, and the text of cancel. Now within our modal content area, we want to show a color picker, which will allow users to pick the color that they want for their app. We'll use the package React Color for this, which gives us a number of color pickers to choose from with a number of different styles. So you can certainly choose any of the ones available that you see on their documentation page, but I'm going to choose the slider component that they have available. So to import that, up at the top, we'll grab slider picker from React Color, and then we'll put that within our content area, first with the label component. We'll label it with the text of primary color. Then we'll have our first slider picker for the primary color of our app, and then another label with the text of secondary color, and another picker to choose the secondary color. Then once we save our files and take a look in our app at the modal by clicking on the button in our color panel, we can see both of our slider pickers. And these are pretty neat because they allow us to pick a certain part of the color spectrum and narrow down the color we want with these different shades. And we also want to toggle the modal by clicking on the cancel button. So the last thing we'll do is add an onClick to our cancel button, which will reference our close modal function. So now we can show our color picker modal by clicking on the plus button and hide it by clicking on the cancel button.